What's up, guys? It's D'Lo from the Stuff of Legend, and we are coming together today to do the fan casting for the DCEU Selina Kyle Catwoman. Now, I'm really excited for Zoe Kravitz to play Catwoman for I think it's the second time, maybe even the third time. I think it's the second time, though. I can't wait to see her in live action and Matt Reeves the Batman. That is not what we are casting for today. I'm not casting to recast Zoe Kravitz. I'm casting for the DCEU, who does not already have a Catwoman. So we're talking about the Ben Affleck, Zack Snyder Justice League that's coming out on HBO Max. We're talking about that continuation that takes place in the current and near future. So as we go ahead and get into this, let me go ahead and turn on this for a second. Okay, there we go. There I am. What's up, guys? Catwoman is a character that could be iterated again and again and again and again and again. And as she's been iterated several times in the past, wonderfully, even in many different ways, I'm really excited. I want to show you guys just an example of what we're talking about when we say she's been iterated a lot of times. I'm going to cut over to my other screen so you guys can see this. We have Anne Hathaway, Cameron Bicondova. So Anne Hathaway was in The Dark Knight Rises. Cameron Bicondova was in Gotham. I believe there was also Lily Simmons played Catwoman in Gotham. Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns. Zoe Kravitz in The Batman, and I think Lego Batman as well, where she voiced that first. Julie Newmar from Batman in the 60s. Halle Berry's Catwoman, which was very, very different. Eartha Kitt from also Batman, the live-action TV series. The only TV series so far, but hopefully not the only TV series for Batman coming up. I do hope that we end up getting a martial arts style Batman. You guys know my take. I want to see Scott Adkins in that role. I can make as many videos as you guys need to have those conversations, and so I can lay out a case for why I feel like that's necessary. But plenty of others. Lee Merriweather, lots of others. I have actually a list here of all the people that have played her either as voice or otherwise. There are a few others that are not on my list, but it's just because I didn't take the time to get everybody. But I have Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, Eartha Kitt, Michelle Pfeiffer, Adrienne Barbeau, Halle Berry, Anne Hathaway, Cameron Bicondova, Lily Simmons, and now Zoe Kravitz for the second time. First time being a vocal role, and this time now being in Matt Reeves' The Batman, and I can't wait to see that film. And I can't wait to see her in that film. It's going to be great. We're casting for the next generation of Catwoman, and so this will carry on into the future regardless of what happens in Matt Reeves. Maybe that continues on its own, on and on and on. Multiple films, creates a legacy. That'd be super cool. But there could be a TV show simultaneously. There could be the DCEU simultaneously, just like how there's Jared Leto and there's also Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can be multiple Batman at the same time, just like how there was one on Titans, just like how DCEU existed, just like how there is one hinted at in the CW shows. You know, there's several different iterations. Let's go ahead and jump in. I won't waste a lot of time with each moment for each actress that I'm going to suggest, but join with me and tell me who you want to play Catwoman after Zoe Kravitz in the comments. Let's get going. First up, oh yeah, so that was a picture. First up, Jaimie Alexander from Thor The Dark World, from Blind Spot, from Last Stand, Kyle XY. She's a powerhouse actress. She has a very commanding presence, and I think this would be this would lend itself nicely to a more strong and vicious Catwoman, as opposed to like stealthy, lurking in the shadows. Isn't really someone intimidating. Like, for instance, Cameron Bicondova's on Gotham was not strong really, but she was quite resourceful. Now, there's no super strength involved with Catwoman, so she doesn't need to be beating up, Bane or anything. But in this situation, I do think that if you wanted to go for a much more physically threatening Catwoman, Jaimie Alexander would be your pick. I think she's terrific as Sif. She would have made it a wonderful Wonder Woman. Not to double pun that, but I like that choice. Let's take a look. A lot of other people have seen what I've seen on this one. People have even fan cast her to be Wonder Woman down here. You can see right there. And then also, again, up here, she looks a lot like some of the animated versions or the video game versions of Catwoman. I think the look, the aesthetic, and her skill sets are right in line with what you would want. So for me, Jaimie Alexander at 5'9" and 36 years old is pick number 1. Pick number 2 is Kristin Kreuk. So this is Lana Lang from Smallville. Most of you guys who've seen Smallville know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've seen Beauty and the Beast on CW or Burden of Truth. There's a few other things. The Street Fighter movie that she was in. Most people really love her for her dramatic acting. She has done quite a bit of some stunt work, some basic fighting. I do believe she's taken martial arts I think I heard that as well, but I can't. And I think that was part of her training for the Street Fighter film. But nevertheless, I think she would be great. I think she would be delightful in the way that the animated series Catwoman was, where she was charming to Bruce Wayne. She was someone that really caught his eye, drew his attention. He just couldn't say no to, really. And I think that would kind of fall back into the vein of, for instance, the styling of Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne and the Vicky Vale in that film. Just very, very romance driven. I think that would be a very good, if you wanted to go in that direction with Catwoman, I think Kristin Kreuk would be the person you would want for that type of a Catwoman. So, again, she is 37 years old and 5'4". There are some great comparisons. Some people have chosen her in roles to be like, oh, I want her to play Batgirl. I don't see her as Batgirl. I don't think she would be good as either Batgirl or as Batwoman, those roles being much more physically intensive. Although she is capable of physical intensity, I would draw on her strength as an emotional actress, and I would go a little closer to the look and styling that you see here in the comic variant print art. Excuse me. So that's where I would go with that. Kristin Kreuk, 5'4" and 37 years old. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to show you guys really quick an image that I created for the Fancasting Summit. This is both Jaimie Alexander and Kristin Kreuk as Catwoman. And I think the Jaimie Alexander image looks almost spot on, but you can see the styling also resembles Kristin Kreuk. You could make that work either direction. And I think it would be a really fun take on either side. For action heavy Catwoman, I would lean closer to Jaimie Alexander, but for more of that emotional draw, I would give it more to Kristin Kreuk. Those are my top 2 picks, but let's go ahead and get into the rest of my choices. After that, we have Ruby Rose. Now, this is coming off of the heels of Ruby Rose stepping down as Batwoman. So you can see here her credits are Cranston Academy, Orange is the New Black, The Meg, Pitch Perfect 3, John Wick Chapter 2, Triple X, Return of Xander Cage, Resident Evil. It keeps going down the line. You'll notice that it doesn't mention Batwoman. And that's a really interesting tidbit because she's the star of Batwoman. She starred in it for the entire first season. The problem is that show kind of tanked. And so when you look down here, it doesn't even mention that here. Normally it tells you what you probably know them best for. A lot of people in the nerd community do know her as Batwoman. Apparently that's not what she wants to be known for. And I think that might be for the best, because if people like recruiters are trying to look for her as a talent, I don't think Batwoman is the place to go for that. Not because she was bad. She was pretty good for what she was given. The show as a whole kind of sucked. I just made a video on that. If you want to see what I had to say about that, the statistics, the critical ratings, We can get into that in a different video, but for now, what I have to say about this is I like Ruby Rose as an actress. You can see from her other stuff, The Meg, John Wick, Return of Xander Cage, Cranston Academy, Orange is the New Black. She is very talented as an actress. And again, being a DC fan, just coming off of Batwoman, she's no longer Batwoman, although the second season's greenlit. It would be a very smooth transition going from playing a role like Batwoman to Catwoman. Not just because you're swapping one letter in the name. That's a stupid reason to do that. It's because, I mean, you're dealing with a Batman related protege. You're dealing with someone that is good at espionage, gathering intel, breaking and entering, the physical demand of the action in the role. Batwoman is not as much a lover as Catwoman is to Bruce Wayne, for instance, but that's not hard for someone who is a skilled and talented actress, despite the fact that Batwoman really failed in that area. It wasn't really her fault. And so to that I say, I do think it would be nice to see Ruby Rose get picked up again in a superhero role, because I do think her talent was sort of wasted in that show, because the show was not where it could have been. But one thing to note is that she probably has the sickest suit out of anybody on all of the CW shows. Like, I don't think anybody in CW shows have a better suit than she does. I genuinely mean that. Any season of The Flash, all of them, best suit goes to Batwoman for sure. And so let's move on. Oh, so let me give you her height and age. So Ruby Rose, I forgot to do that. 5'7", 34 years old. I think she would be a good pick for a more well-rounded choice between action and ability to play kind of like a darker character that can lie and put on a face. I think she would work well as Catwoman. So she's my number 3 pick. Next up on the list, Eiza Gonzalez. We have from Dawn Till Dusk, Baby Driver, Amores Verdaderos. I always have a hard time saying that. From Bloodshot, Fast and the Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, Alita Battle Angel, and so many more. Eiza Gonzalez is 5'8" and 30 years old. A lot of people have picked her for this role. I'm by no means the first person. I won't be the last. I'm among many who have chosen her for this role. A lot of really cool fan art based on this. A lot of cool comparisons. This one I do think works really nicely. You can see that. That's a really good edit right there. It says here by Boss Logic. I haven't verified that because this is just a Google search. I do think that's probably Boss Logic. It looks good enough to be Boss Logic. This one, I'm not sure. This one looks like it's by Missouri Official or something, but this one's also really good. So I like this one. I think this would be really good. Again, A-list actress right now. She's basically on the top of her game. She's kind of like a modern day Angelina Jolie. That's kind of like where she's at right now. As far as stardom, as far as talent, respect in the industry, I think she's close to the top. So I would give this one to her as well. Maybe even above Ruby Rose. I'm not listing these particularly in order. I just happen to do my first 2 picks being my top 2 picks. But I think she's a top contender for this role. So I'll leave that there. Let me know what you guys think about Eiza Gonzalez down below in the comments or in the live chat. All right, and then Aubrey Plaza is my next choice. Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Recreations, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, Dirty Grandpa, Child's Play. She is 5'6" and 35 years old. She has played in a comic book franchise before. She was in Legion. She played a schizophrenic, drugged out, crazy person in a mental hospital, which was very, very interesting to watch. But that's kind of her MO. Almost everything she's in, she always plays someone that's super pushing the edge of what is generally perceived as okay. And another way she did that actually was she kind of, I'm pretty sure it was fake, like it was just her messing around, because you don't really know when you can take her seriously in any capacity. But she is a good actress. I think for the most part, she's kind of being herself. I think she's just that weird. She's kind of like a Lady Gaga type of person. Borderline MK Ultra victim. But she's Aubrey Plaza went on Stephen Colbert's show, literally in cat ears, saying she wanted to play Catwoman, then crawled up on the desk of Stephen Colbert like a cat and then started like licking him and being all weird. So that's what makes me think it was a joke, but at the same time, that is most of the roles she plays. Like, she plays someone that is literally bonkers 90% of the time. So not sure if she's bringing herself to these roles or if those are just the roles she wants to play, and so she puts herself out there in that way. But either way, I think she could probably pull off Catwoman if she would dial back the nuts. You know what I mean? Like, stop, don't be as legit crazy, because she is very talented, and I do think that she would do a good job playing the role, taken seriously. So, would be interesting, and it would be the first time I've seen her play a serious role. So, let me know what you guys think about Aubrey Plaza getting the role of Catwoman down in the comments. All right, next up, Lauren Cohan. So this one's fun. She's in Whiskey Cavalier, The Boy, The Walking Dead, Death Race 2, Mile 22, The Vampire Diaries, and Supernatural. She was also in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. This complicates my casting a little bit because I try not to cast characters or actors that are in the project already. However, she played Martha Wayne, and she was in a flashback for like 1 second. So it's possible that they might be able to move past that and just, recast and just say maybe that's why Bruce Wayne is kind of like drawn to her a little bit, because she reminds him of his mom. They could just play it like she looks similar, to a younger version of his mother. Obviously, they'd want to explain that, maybe make it part of the plot, part of the allure, because you'd be using the same actress. But they've done, Marvel's done the same thing, reused actors. I'm sure DC may be able to get away with that. Tough call, though. So I know some people won't be as keen on that option. But nevertheless, for me, I think it's a fun choice, and I think she would do really nicely in the role. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going to leave that, other than just taking a look at a couple of these edits. Some of these edits are super, super sick. Obviously, most of the fan art is saying do Lady Joker from the Flashpoint Paradox, because that's kind of where they were hinting at going with the Flash film initially, and it's changed since then. But that would be really cool because, again, she was Martha Wayne. And then having, Martha be a big deal for Batman in Batman v Superman, and then coming out of Justice League could kick into the Flashpoint Paradox, because that's kind of what happened with Flash in Justice League, was that whole, like, time continuum thing. So this is kind of like a double... This is like a double cast almost. Like, I'm suggesting Catwoman because I think she would be good for that. But if you can't get past her also being the actress that played Martha Wayne in like exactly one flashback, then you could go for female Joker. I think that's fun. Let me know if this is too much of a stretch. And I actually did add an 11th casting. I know the title of this video says top 10. I have a bonus at the end because this casting already existed in the DCEU. So instead of gypping you, because I wanted this one for my own choices, I added an 11th on. So stay through to the end for that one. Next up, we have Serinda Swan. So Serinda Swan, who is 30, she's 35 years old and 5'7", which is the same height as Lauren Cohan. She was in the Inhumans. She was in Coroner, Breakout Kings, Recoil, Ballers, The Veil, Tron. But you guys, if you ever got a chance to see Inhumans, I think that was one of the biggest wastes of talent Marvel's ever done. And when I say that, it's not a knock on the actors. The actors are exactly why I think it was wasted, because there was so much talent cast in that in that crew that was underused drastically. And I think that Serinda Swan was great in that show. Unfortunately, the show was the budget got chopped at the knees. I don't know what happened exactly. I think it was just that they figured they were going to need to save money to buy out Fox at that time. At that point, they probably saw that coming and just wanted to be like, you know what, we shouldn't do Inhumans yet. We're going to get the X-Men. Excuse me. So for me, I think it's just it was just sad to see that someone as talented as Serinda Swan, who by the way played Zatanna in Smallville. She was Zatanna in Smallville. They could bring her back and just have her play Catwoman. I think that would be a really nice way to transition a really great actress into another good, reputable role that would work really nicely. Great. She's great with romance. She's great with strength and power, and even portraying, you know, a liar, that kind of thing, deceiver, trickster. She can do those things. As Medusa, she was very deceitful. She was very, at times, conniving, but also very loyal, very loving, depending on who it was she was interacting with in that show, because the show was about betrayal. And so I do think that it is something that would be good to explore as an idea. But you guys should let me know. Do you think Serinda Swan should be given a second chance here? Or do you think, no, let's go with someone else? Tell me down below in the comments or in the live chat. All right, next up we have Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, Me Before You, Last Christmas, Terminator Genesis, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and many more. I am actually not the biggest fan of Emilia Clarke, but I do think that she would be able to do what she does best, is portray someone that's not inherently good, but can get you to feel for her, get you to sympathize with her position. She's very good at that. She's actually quite small. She's 5'2", 33 years old. And a lot of people have wanted her for this role, for Catwoman. Again, she's not my top pick. She's not even she's not even my top 6, really. But I do think she's a good actress, and that she could be utilized for the role of Catwoman. Again, I would go closer to the Lover for this one. I don't think she's a terrific action actress for like coordination and stuff like that. But to me, I think that emotionally she draws in well with her co-stars. She's able to kind of connect with them on that level and build those in character relationships really nicely. I think this would work in a love story between her and Bruce Wayne. That would be fun. But again, you be the judge. You tell me what you think about Emilia Clarke. All right, next up we have number 9, Morena Baccarin. Morena Baccarin from Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Homeland, Gotham. She's been on Marvel and DC. She was in V. She was in the OC. Firefly. She's been in a lot of good shows and movies. She is actually married to Ben McKenzie from. She's married to Ben McKenzie from Gotham. At this point in time, so she did end up marrying Commissioner Gordon, which is cool because, you know, they were a relationship in the show. But let's check out this. There's some really compelling art here. Morena Baccarin in a Catwoman suit. This one feels a lot to me like the Anne Hathaway style, but I think that she would do it better. Like, I really did like I liked Anne Hathaway, but I didn't really like Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman was kind of like a cool start, but she's got a different style that I think Morena Baccarin would best her at. And that's not a knock at Anne Hathaway, just that I think Morena Baccarin is probably better suited for that kind of forbidden love type. You know what I mean? So for her, I think that it would work. You guys let me know. And again, she does look, I think this is an art by Revenge of the Fans. Um, let me see if I can find another one of these for you guys. Oh, and I think it was said somewhere. This image here is saying this, so I haven't fact checked this. This is the first I'm seeing of this, but it is interesting if it's true. Morena Baccarin is interested in playing Selina Kyle Catwoman. That may have been for the Matt Reeves film. I don't know. That might have even been back during The Dark Knight Rises, although I don't think that's probably the case. This looks like more recent. But either way, if she was at any point interested in playing Catwoman, Selina Kyle, I think she should be given that chance in the future with a different project other than the Matt Reeves project. So, what do you guys think about that? Let me know what you guys have to say about Morena Baccarin playing Catwoman down below in the comments. And let's go to number 10. Number 10 is Katie McGrath. She is 5'6", 37 years old. The Irish actress from Dublin, Ireland. She was in Merlin. She's in Supergirl, Jurassic World, Dracula. She's been in a lot of things. Many of them either more mature or in or European films. For her, I think she's arguably the best part of the show Supergirl. I think that her character Lena Luthor is by far the most compelling. I think she's probably the best actress on the show, in my opinion. Obviously, that's totally up for debate. You guys can corroborate with me what you like, what you would call the best actress of the show, but that's not what we're talking about here. I think that she would make a great Catwoman. And again, for all the same reasons that I mentioned before, take a look here. This is an image of her face on top of another one of her faces next to an animated Catwoman image based on early comic book art style. I think that if you were to go for that early comic book art style costume for Catwoman, this would work really, really well. She has big blue eyes that would definitely grab your attention, stand out through a black and gray costume. And I think that she would be believably someone that could leave Batman's jaw on the floor while he's trying to rationalize, okay, she's a criminal. Obviously can't be with her, but then he's like, can we though? I think we probably can. I kind of break the law, so that would be, I think this one would work really, really well. I like Katie McGrath in Supergirl specifically, and I think that she would do really, really well as Catwoman. I think she's also, her being 5'6" makes her one of the shorter people on my list, and I do think that height will make a difference when they're next to Batman, for instance. Like Batman, if you have an actor that's 5'9", you don't want someone that's also like 5'8", Catwoman, because then if you want her in heels, it's going to make it look odd if she's as tall or taller than Batman. You kind of want that dynamic. If the guy is taller than the girl by a substantial margin, a few inches even, then you can get that like romantic look when they hug, or if they're going to kiss or something. It's kind of like a girls looking up, guys looking down. It works a little bit better visually, I think, than just two people who are exactly the same height, I think. And then that's just an opinion, and obviously camera tricks. You could have him stand on something whenever they're next to each other, or just have raised boots and her in flats, that kind of thing. But either way, I think that she would be ideal for that. So that is my 10th choice. And because I kind of robbed you out of the Lauren Cohan thing because she's already in the DCEU, I'm going to give you guys the bonus 11th. So the bonus 11th choice on my list is Jenna Dewan. Jenna Dewan from Step Up, Witches of the East End, The Resident, Soundtrack, Tamara, Flirty Dancing. She is an athlete. She's on World of Dance. She is very skilled and talented with choreography. I think it would translate very nicely into stunt work and combat acting. And I think that her being 5'2", the shortest on my list, I believe, would allow almost any guy to be to have that kind of like lovers dynamic in a face-to-face positioning. that to me, I think is just a simple, not necessary, but kind of nice thing to have. Her being shorter, 39 years old, and she does kind of seem cat-like. I mean, she is a dancer. She's dainty. I think it would work really nicely. Boss Logic did a really impressive artwork for Jenna Dewan as Catwoman based on an image of her from a magazine. He obviously covered her up. I think she was completely undressed, but it was covered by her arms and her legs, I guess. But I do appreciate that he clothed her in this way. But this to me would work really nicely. Jenna Dewan as Catwoman, Selina Kyle. Again, she's used to playing the lover. She's used to playing someone that is strong in character, loving, but also she's very, very physically capable of choreography. And I do think that would translate really, really well. And I'd love to see her play a vicious role. I'd love to see her play like a Catwoman that has both the viciousness and the lover's edge. So to me, that'd be a lot of fun. So she's my 10th pick, but she's my, that's to compensate for the Lauren Cohan. So 11 picks in total. And finally, again, back to this artwork. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. Again, I'm no Boss Logic, that's for sure. I do like some really cheap, quick edits, just for showcasing the visual point of some of my choices. This one I do feel is a lot more obvious than some of the others, but nevertheless, I made that for you. So if you guys want, as we wrap up this this video, I just wanted to give you guys a chance. If you guys are fans of Catwoman, you're diehard fans, you love the character, you love the actresses who played the character, I've made designs on my TeePublic account. So this is my Instagram you're looking at right here. But regardless, I'm just showing you guys a 9-square stack side-by-side collage of the different t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, and the different designs, up close. You can see that I've put together for the different actresses that have played Catwoman throughout the years. So this is not all of them. This is just some of them. But again, you go over to teepublic.com. The link is in my link tree down below. You can click the link in the description. It'll take you to there, and you can just click on get in my merch store. This is just Michelle Pfeiffer, so if you want, you could switch this from male to female t-shirts. You can change the style to like tri-blend t-shirt. These are really nice. You can change the colors if you like. You could make it pink, blue, green, whatever you want. Or you could get the mugs and all this stuff just by scrolling down here and clicking. So any of these things, phone cases, magnets, that's all available, and it all helps my channel grow. So if you guys are fans and you want something like this, a poster, a wall art, you name it, you can get it here. Actually, wall art's fun too. So you go here, and then you can go from art print, poster, or canvas. You can make that bad boy as big as you want. Come over here and you can mount that thing in your living room. Pretty cool. But anyway, enough about that. I'll talk to you guys about those things later. But if you want, it's available in the link in the description below. So thank you guys so much for joining this video for fan casting Catwoman in the DCEU or TV shows or iterations after Zoe Kravitz is finished, or even before she's finished, but in a different universe, in a different storyline. Let me know who your favorite pick is. Was there anyone that I could have named that I didn't, that maybe I forgot about? Who's your favorite? Put that name in the comments, in the description, or in the comments section or the live chat, and I will get that from you. We can have that discussion. I love talking with you guys about fan casting. It's one of my favorite things, and I want to do that a little bit more often now. So free ways you can support my channel before you go. Like this video, share it with a friend, comment down below, and subscribe. Those 4 things are going to help me reach my 1,000 subscriber goal so that I can start making money on YouTube on this channel and devote more time to the growth of this channel as well and produce more content for you guys. So thank you guys very, very much. And if you do want to support me financially, just buy a t-shirt, get yourself something. I won't ask you to give me money for nothing. I want you guys to get something. So if you put money in, you get something out of it. You know what I mean? And so that, again, is for you guys. Appreciate it. You guys are the best, and I'll see you guys next time right here on The Stuff of Legend. Hey guys, D-Lo here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And remember to share this video with all of your nerd friends. I know you got them, and you know who they are. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about this discussion. Let me know what you would like to see me do a video on next. Subscribe to the channel because you're a legend, and we have that in common. Also be sure to turn on notifications to be notified right away when I upload my next video, or so that you can be alerted when I go live next time. That way you'll never miss a thing. Check out the other videos on the channel so that we can have a discussion on all your favorite movies and TV topics. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more right